In the deaths of actor Gene Hackman and his wife, with investigators now calling those deaths suspicious.
Mystery is the celebrated actor known for his towering presence in classics like The French Connect, Unforgiven, and The Royal Tenenbaums was one of the greatest talents Hollywood ever produced. After retiring from acting, Hackman led a quieter life away from the prying eyes of the media, choosing to live in New Mexico with his wife Betsy Arakawa. Little did the public know his decision to retreat from the spotlight was just the beginning of a larger, more complex story that would come to light after his passing. When Gene Hackman died, many assumed it was the inevitable conclusion of a long and fruitful life. At 95 years old, his death seemed like a natural progression, especially after decades of hard work in the film industry. His age alone suggested that health complications or old age might have contributed to his passing, and for a time this was the widely accepted explanation. However, as investigations into his death began to unfold, the surface-level conclusion quickly gave way to a much darker, more disturbing reality. In the wake of his passing, a series of new evidence emerged, startling discoveries that not only changed the course of the investigation, but also shed light on a hidden life that Gene Hackman had carefully concealed from the public for years. What initially appeared to be a natural death now seemed increasingly suspicious, and these new revelations sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond, turning Hackman's death into one of the most perplexing cases of recent times. The more authorities delved into his final moments and his life in the years leading up to his death, the more they realized that there was far more to his story than anyone had ever known. One of the most significant findings came from a routine inspection of Hackman's estate, where investigators uncovered an array of new evidence that would shift the entire investigation in an unexpected direction. Within the secluded mansion where Hackman had spent his last years, authorities discovered multiple hidden compartments, secret rooms, and an underground bunker that Hackman had kept entirely concealed from his family, friends, and even those closest to him. These hidden spaces were filled with items that painted a much darker picture of the actor's final years, including confidential documents, encrypted digital files, and personal records that had been carefully guarded. What was most unsettling about this discovery was the meticulousness with which Hackman had organized everything. It became clear that in his final years Hackman had been preparing for something he felt was urgent and important enough to keep secret from everyone. The presence of encrypted files and obscure documents suggested that Hackman had been involved in activities that were far removed from his public persona as a retired actor. What these activities were, however, remained unclear. Investigators have since focused on decrypting the files, hoping that they will provide a clearer understanding of what Hackman had been dealing with during his last years. Another crucial piece of new evidence was found in the form of a series of photographs and letters, many of which appeared to be linked to individuals who had never been mentioned before in Hackman's life. These individuals, whose identities were still unknown, were clearly important to Hackman in some capacity, but their role in his life remained a mystery. These photographs, along with written correspondence, suggested that Hackman had been secretly corresponding with people who were not part of his inner circle, leading many to wonder whether these communications had any bearing on the events leading up to his death, in addition to the documents and Hackman's state of mind in his final days, suggesting that there may have been something he was preparing for or trying to prevent in his last moments. Hackman's death had originally been thought to be a result of natural causes, especially given his age and the physical toll of years spent in the harsh world of Hollywood. However, the discovery of these secret communications, the encrypted files, and the hidden spaces in his home raised serious questions about whether his passing was truly the result of old age or if something far more sinister was at play. Could Hackman have been involved in a conspiracy or some sort of dangerous situation that led to his untimely death? Were these hidden compartments a sign of paranoia or a need to protect himself from an unseen threat? One of the most chilling aspects of these discoveries was the suggestion that Hackman may have known something that others did not, a secret that he had taken great care to conceal from the world. The idea that an actor, someone who had lived in the public eye for most of his life, could retreat so thoroughly into secrecy raises many more questions than answers. Hackman was known for his private nature, but the extent to which he went to protect his privacy was unlike anything anyone had ever imagined. In addition to the new findings at his estate, there were reports of strange activity leading up to his death. Some of Hackman's closest friends and colleagues, including fellow actors and family members, had not heard from him in weeks, and attempts to reach him had gone unanswered. This extended period of silence raised concerns among those who knew him, and it wasn't until maintenance workers arrived at his home for a routine check that Hackman and his wife, Betsy, were found lifeless. The circumstances surrounding their deaths were perplexing, as both appeared to have passed under unusual conditions. While authorities initially suspected carbon monoxide poisoning, this theory was soon ruled out after thorough testing of the gas lines. As investigators delved deeper into the scene, they noticed several other strange details that suggested the couple's deaths were anything but ordinary. The home was found in disarray, with signs of neglect that pointed to the possibility that Hackman and his wife had been left in isolation for some time before being discovered. These signs, along with the discovery of their bodies in different parts of the house, further complicated the investigation, making it clear that there was more to this story than anyone had realized. The discovery of new evidence has sent shockwaves through the investigation as authorities continue to piece together the timeline of events leading up to Hackman's death. Each new revelation raises more questions than answers, and with each new clue the mystery grows more complex. What was Hackman hiding? What did he fear, and why did he go to such lengths to keep these secrets hidden? As the investigation moves forward, all eyes will remain on the ongoing search for answers. With new evidence continuing to surface, it's clear that the truth about Gene Hackman's final years and the circumstances surrounding his death will likely change everything we thought we knew about this legendary actor. Was Hackman truly living in fear, preparing for something that never came to pass, or did he simply want to live his last years in peace, only to be swept up in a web of secrets and dangers that no one could have foreseen? As the investigation continues, the public waits with bated breath for the answers that will finally reveal the truth behind G. Hackman's death. With each new piece of evidence uncovered, the story grows more compelling and the mystery deepens, ensuring that the legacy of this great actor will continue to evolve in unexpected and shocking ways. What happens next in this investigation could very well change the way we view Hackman's life and career in it that were never visible to the outside world. What's most unsettling is the possibility that Hackman knew more than anyone ever realized a secret he took to the grave, whether he was in danger or was simply trying to protect his family and himself from something that remained out of reach for even those closest to him. We may never fully understand his efforts to remain isolated, to live a quiet life far from the media spotlight, now seem to hold a deeper, more poignant meaning. The unanswered questions surrounding his death, combined with the sudden eerie discoveries in his estate, have sparked a global conversation. Everyone wants to know the truth. Was Hackman truly just a retired actor living out his final days in peace? Or did he harbor dark secrets that no one ever suspected? Were there hidden dangers lurking in his life that he tried to shield his family from? With every passing day, the investigation continues to yield new information, drawing more attention to the possibility that the full truth may be more chilling than anyone ever imagined. What will happen next is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the world has only begun to scratch the surface of what could be an unfolding narrative that stretches far beyond Hackman's illustrious film career, as the search for answers intensifies. Those who knew him and those who admired him from afar will continue to be captivated by the mystery that surrounds his final moments. In the coming months, the investigation will no doubt reveal more clues, more pieces of the puzzle that could illuminate what really happened to Gene Hackman in his final years. Whether these discoveries will provide the closure his family, friends, and fans deserve, or whether they will raise even more unsettling questions, remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the legacy of Gene Hackman will never be the same again. The actor who once embodied some of Hollywood's most unforgettable characters may now be remembered as a man whose life and death are shrouded in mystery, forever leaving the world to wonder just what really happened behind those closed doors. As we wait for the final answers to this perplexing case, we can only reflect on the complexities of life and the stories that often remain untold, no matter how famous the person may be.